A validation plan, VP, is a critical document in the computer system validation, CSV, process that outlines the strategy, scope, objectives, and responsibilities for validating a computerized system in regulated industries like pharmaceuticals. The validation plan ensures that all aspects of the system are properly tested and documented to comply with regulatory standards, ensuring data integrity, accuracy, and system performance. Here's a detailed explanation of what goes into a validation plan. 1. Purpose and scope. 1. Purpose. The validation plan outlines the rationale behind the validation, such as ensuring that the computerized system complies with regulatory requirements, e.g., FDA 21 CFR Part 11, EU Annex 11. 2. Scope. Defines which systems, processes, or software applications are covered by the validation. 2. This can include production systems, lab equipment, or even ERP systems in a pharmaceutical context. Example: the validation plan for a manufacturing system might specify that the validation will focus on ensuring that the system correctly monitors and records batch processes. 2. Objectives. 1. The Objectives section explains why the system needs to be validated and what the validation aims to achieve. 1. This often involves proving that the system meets user and functional requirements, operates reliably, and ensures data integrity. 2. It should also address risk mitigation and how the system's validation will protect product quality and patient safety. Example: the objective could be to confirm that a laboratory information management system, LIMS, accurately records, stores, and retrieves data on pharmaceutical testing. 3. System description. 1. Overview. Provides a description of the system being validated. 1. This includes details on the system's components, hardware, software, its purpose, and how it integrates with other systems or processes. 2. Modules. Lists the modules or subsystems that are part of the validation. Example: a warehouse management system, WMS, might have modules for inventory management, order tracking, and quality control, each requiring separate validation efforts. 4. Roles and responsibilities. 1. This section defines who is responsible for each part of the validation process. 1. It often involves several departments, including IT, quality assurance, QA, regulatory affairs, and external vendors. 2. Key roles include: validation lead, oversees the validation process. System owners, the persons responsible for day-to-day system operation. Quality assurance, ensures that all validation activities meet regulatory standards. Third-party vendors, if external providers are involved, their roles and responsibilities must be clearly outlined. 5. Validation approach. 1. Risk-based approach. Explains how the validation effort will be proportional to the system's risk. 1. Higher risk systems that could affect product quality or patient safety will require more stringent validation efforts. 2. Validation strategy. Describes the methodology used for validation, including which qualification activities will be performed, IQ, OQ, PQ. Installation qualification, IQ, verifies that the system is installed according to specifications. Operational qualification, OQ, ensures the system operates as expected under defined conditions. Performance qualification, PQ, confirms that the system performs reliably in a real-world environment. 6. Testing and acceptance criteria. 1. Test plan. Describes how the system will be tested, including the types of tests, e.g., functional tests, integration tests, and the environment in which they will be conducted. 2. Acceptance criteria. Establishes the criteria that must be met for the system to be considered validated. 2. This could involve checking that all test cases have passed and that data is processed correctly without errors. 7. Risk management. 1. The plan should include a risk assessment that identifies potential risks to the system's performance, data integrity, or compliance with regulations. 2. It outlines how these risks will be mitigated through validation activities and controls. Example: if a system failure could lead to incorrect batch records, mitigation could include regular data backups, automated alerts, and manual checks. 8. Change control. 1. The change control section outlines how any changes to the system will be handled after the initial validation. 2. This could include software updates, hardware replacements, or changes in system configuration. 3. The plan ensures that any changes are evaluated for their impact on the system's validated state, and if necessary, revalidation is conducted. 9. Documentation and deliverables. 1. Describes the types of documents that will be produced throughout the validation process. 1. This could include validation protocols, IQ, OQ, PQ, test scripts and reports, system design and specification documents, validation summary report, a final report summarizing the validation results and concluding whether the system is fit for use. 10. Schedule and timeline. 1. Establishes the timeline for each phase of the validation process. 1. This includes the expected start and end dates for IQ, OQ, PQ, and any other necessary testing or documentation activities. Example: the validation plan might specify that IQ will be completed within 2 weeks, followed by OQ testing over the next 3 weeks. 11. Approval and sign off. 1. Once the validation plan is complete, it needs to be reviewed and approved by the relevant stakeholders, including the validation lead, QA, system owners, and possibly regulatory bodies. 2. Approval ensures that everyone agrees on the scope, objectives, and approach before the validation work begins. Conclusion: the validation plan, VP, is a roadmap that guides the entire validation process. It ensures that all activities related to validating a computerized system are well documented, compliant with regulations, and aligned with industry standards. By defining roles, outlining testing strategies, and setting clear objectives, the validation plan helps maintain data integrity, product quality, and patient safety in regulated environments such as pharmaceuticals. The plan is also critical for audits, as it provides clear documentation that the system has been validated according to regulatory requirements and internal quality standards.